friends, Dean here with Escape to Gaming. I've had kind of a long overdue pickups video. I've been waiting for all the games to come in. First I got a pretty good batch of games. I was happy with those, and I just asked them, I said, can you locate these other games for me? And they said they could, for another 4 different games. And so I've had to wait, between 3 and 5 days for those games to come in. And then there was one they couldn't find. I've been looking for a while, knowing I was going to be getting an Xbox. So I went ahead and had my wife order me one on eBay, and I found a really clean one, cheap for that, which worked out well. And then when I went to the store today to pick up my games, I found another 3 games, which I ended up bought that just came in, which I had to have. So I've got, this is kind of a big pickups video, and I have a few other little kind of important items I got from my little game room here, which I'm really excited about. So anyway, I'm going to show you the games first. I'll take a break and then show you some of the other items I got as well, and I'll wrap this whole deal up. So now the only game I hung on to from before when I had my original Xbox, the only game because I loved it so much, was my original Manhunt, which you could play on the Xbox 360. In fact, I swapped out one of the new games I bought, which was kind of a cheap game. I didn't know if I'd like it or not. I swapped out the green case on it to put back in my Manhunt case, so I could have my Manhunt back in original green case. But this I've had, God, forever. It's in absolutely perfect condition. It's got the original booklet, and I love this to death. I mean, I love the little booklet with all the characters, and it even has an ad for the Red Dead Revolver in it. All the stuff on ammo and the twisted snuff films that you can film. I mean, it's kind of a really sick black humor. All the weapons and the god-awful executions that you can do and what have you. But Manhunt is an impressive game. It still impresses me today. It's still very well done. It's got great mechanics, and it looks even better on the Xbox than it did on the PlayStation 2. I also have the PS2 version as well. But my new thing is now I'm going to start looking for more Rockstar games for the Xbox because I love the way they look. So this is the original one that I had, God, years and years ago when I had my original Xbox. And I hung on to this. The other ones I donated to Classic Game Room, my other Manhunt 1 and 2, for the PS2, which they've been reviews of on Siege Air Undertow. And then as everyone who saw my video where I picked up my original Xbox again, which I've got down behind me here on the floor, I got Land of the Dead, Road to Fiddler's Green, absolutely mint condition, complete. In fact, the disc is actually in the machine right now. But I love this game to death. This is a fantastic game. It looks wonderful. It plays wonderful. I'm really happy with this Land of the Dead. So that's, another game. In fact, I'm going to just stack these over here. That game I bought with the original Xbox for $20. Kind of a steep price for an original Xbox game, but that game is hard to get. I'm seeing prices of $50 to $80 for excellent condition ones, as clean as that one on eBay. So, and then the following video I did like a day or so later, I picked up The Godfather for the Xbox 360, which is an unusual port. There were many copies available for the Xbox for The Godfather, but not so much for the Xbox 360. So I found the original strategy guide as well as the game for the Xbox 360 for The Godfather, which I had played on my Xbox, but at the same time I found this Warriors game. This is one of my favorite games I had for the PS2. I used to have the strategy guide as well. Unfortunately, I don't have the guide anymore, but I am dying to play this on the Xbox. It's going to look fantastic. In fact, I watched just the opening cinematics. It really looks good on the Xbox. Xbox had a slight advantage with it's kind of more of a powerhouse. Actually, it's like a little computer in a way. And the processing power is just a little bit faster. So the graphics, the lighting effects, everything just look a little bit better. So now, these aren't in any real order. I got so many at once, and I found good deals on quite a few. Some of them I had to kind of pay a little bit more than I felt comfortable paying for, and I'll get to those a little later. But I did some research on the internet through YouTube videos, and a lot of people really like this Urban Chaos game. So, and I've been playing this. This game kicks ass. This is a really unique first-person shooter. It's really cool. It's like there's a complete... all hell breaks loose in this big city, and the fire departments and police departments are having a hard time, so they have to call in the special riot squad to deal with the chaos, to protect the firefighters and paramedics and people working. And it's all kinds of thugs that come at you with meat cleavers and guns and Molotov cocktails. You get a riot shield and guns, and you can just take them on full bore. This is a hilarious game. I've had so much fun playing this. This game kicks ass. I can't wait to get all the way through this. And these are giving me a lot of games I could actually do some little gameplay videos and possibly some reviews or impressions videos of. I was really happy to find this Outrun 2 again. Now, I had this before for the regular Xbox. You can play this on the Xbox 360, but there's some severe audio bugs, which will drive you nuts after a while. So, in fact, I kept this one as well for my Xbox 360 and eventually traded in and get rid of it just because I couldn't handle the audio bugs. But this I've been playing again, and man, it just plays as smooth as silk on the Xbox. It looks wonderful. It's very fluid. It plays well. I love the music. I love the wonderful selection of Ferraris in this. This is a fantastic game. Again, it's complete. The booklet, everything is in absolutely mint condition. Now, actually, this was the one disc of all the games I bought. There's a few light scratches on this disc itself. It's not bad. It's just, I don't know, you probably can't see it, but just some very slight little light scratches and scuff marks. They're almost not even noticeable. But of all the discs I have, this one I may buy a little bit nicer one. The back, the paper on the back was a little scuffed up where there was something that was on there that got peeled off. It's not bad though. The bottom line is it plays wonderful and it looks wonderful on my new Xbox, and I'm real happy with this. So the same thing with this, Riot Response, by the way, too. This game was complete with the original brochure just to show that that's all complete and everything. It's got a really, I miss the old, brochures that had all of the nice thick manuals with the instructions in them in full color. It's nice to have things complete, and every game that I have here is complete. The Punisher. Now, this is one that I originally had gone to my Dimples to look for, and I saw Dave at Lawn Boys Post 1975 did some wonderful gameplay of this, and I had seen gameplay of this before. Now, I never had this before in the original Xbox, although I had seen it many times and didn't know if it was any good or not, but this game kicks ass. Now, this one I went through and played the first level, the big crack house level, and went all the way through it and just blew everyone away that got in my path. But this game kicks ass. This is a wonderful game, another complete game, absolutely mint condition, original booklet. Everything looks nice on it, not a scratch on it. I'm real pleased with this. That was a wonderful find. Thanks, Dave, for that recommendation on that one. I had to get my Return to Castle Wolfenstein. This is the Tides of War. Now, this one I also went through and played the first level again, just to kind of see the comparisons, because I've been recently playing, especially over last summer, I played Operation Resurrection for the PlayStation 2. This looks really good. Now, this had the multiplayer, where the PS2 version didn't really have the killer multiplayer. I don't know if the servers are still working for this. I honestly doubt it, but I think there's some other split-screen, two-player action you can do with this. The graphics don't look bad. It's just different. It wasn't as refined. It doesn't have as many levels and cutscenes as the Operation Resurrection PlayStation 2 exclusive had, but this is a wonderful, if you have an Xbox, you've got to get this. This is one of the finest first-person shooters that's up there with the original Doom, original Quake games. I love this to death. If I was on a desert island and had to pick 10 games, this would be one of them. Either whether it's this version or the PlayStation 2 version. And it's all complete as well with the original, booklet and the whole deal. It's just nice to have everything all original again. It's awesome. There's lots of Wolfenstein little tidbits about the history of Wolfenstein at the bottom of a lot of these pages. They give you little tips of how they made the game and correlations with the original, Wolfenstein 3D, which is pretty cool. Now, a lot of my friends have been telling me about this game. This game looks pretty cool. I had to get it. I haven't tried it yet. I'm anxious to put it in and try it. And that's a Panzer Dragoon Orta game, which looks really cool. You get to fly this dragon around. Now, I've watched a couple gameplay videos of this recently, and a lot of people collecting original Xbox games had mentioned this. So what's cool is that I've been looking for the game. I saw it at the one Dimples. I found the Warriors game. I went back to get it, and it was gone. I went to my Roseville store, and the dude behind the counter knows me in there. He goes, yeah, I see you're really particular about collecting, these games. He goes, dude, I don't know if you're interested. I have this Panzer Dragoon. It just came in for me. I had it, but I just had the disc. I didn't have the original clamshell or the booklet. So I ordered another one just so I have it. Would you be interested? If you want, I'll sell it to you for $10. I go, oh, dude, I'll take it if you don't want it. And he goes, I'll order another one for myself. They come in from time to time. So he actually sold me his copy that came in for him. And it's in excellent condition, perfect condition, original registration cards, wonderful booklet, just in absolutely mint condition for a whopping like $9.99. I was so happy to have this. And this is an Xbox exclusive apparently, so I'm really pleased with that. Freedom Fighters. I finally got my Freedom Fighters. Now what I did is I had a couple of the games for the PlayStation 2, including this one and a few others. I traded them and they gave me $46 in trade. They'll give you less cash, like $30 cash or $46 in trade towards other games. So I just applied that towards a lot of these games and I rebought them for the Xbox since the Xbox versions were better. Now I had played this all the way through on the original Xbox and love this. This is one of the finest and most fun squad-based tactical shooters I've ever played. A little third-person shooter, wonderful, the booklet, the disc, everything is in wonderful condition. This had some like a small little wrinkle or tear in the plastic on the clamshell at the top. So some of these, what I'm going to do is I'll probably buy some old sports games for like $2 a piece that have real clean clamshells. I'll just buy a bunch of them, even games I don't care about, and I'll replace the clamshells with better ones from the cheaper games. But in the meantime, that'll be fine. Now this is the one my wife just ordered me on eBay. One of my favorite games. This is my favorite driver game in the series. Highly recommended. It's a very cool game where you go back and the first half of the game takes place in like the early to mid 70s. And it has all the 70s cars in New York City, all the different boroughs in New York, and Queens and Brooklyn and Manhattan, and even I think New Jersey. It's really cool. And wonderful music that rivals anything in any of the GTA games on the radio stations. There's some interesting things that happen within the story in the game. The main character, something happens to him. He goes to prison in the middle of the game. There's a big cutscene. He gets out. Now it's in the present day, like 2009 or 8 or whatever this game came out. And I think of 2010 or 9 or somewhere in there. And this came out late on the Xbox cycle. It came out also, and in fact, I just traded this my PS2 version in towards some other games because I knew I was getting this in the mail. This is the one game I got on eBay. I got this for $12.50, including shipping, which is really in excellent condition. This one I'm playing as well right now, and I'm really enjoying this driver parallel line. So the disc is actually in the machine here, and but I love this game to death. The graphics are awesome. I've been trying these out on the Xbox 360 to see which ones work, but I love this one. It's actually one of the first games for the Xbox that comes in kind of a letterbox widescreen format. Highly recommended. So the first half of the game's in the 70s, and the second half you're kind of in the current times, and now he's seeking revenge against the guys that put him away for so many years. And it's a wonderful story, some of the most impressive cutscenes I've ever seen produced for an Xbox game. It's also on the Wii as well, so it's unusual. If you have a Wii, I would highly recommend this as well. But you'll love this to death. I love Driver Parallel Lines, one of my favorite games for the original Xbox. I'm so happy to have it back in my collection. I just couldn't find it. My dimples, none of them had it. Another game that I had on the regular Xbox, and I had it for the PlayStation 2 as well, was Test Drive. Now this one I've been playing the most of all of these games so far. I've had the most fun with this. I've been going through the career mode and unlocking the tracks and going through the races. It was one of the first games that really had muscle cars. It has wonderful muscle cars in it. Dodge Chargers. There's like a Hemi 71, Plymouth Cuda. Mustangs. I had an old 72 Corvette. They had one in here that looks a lot like it. It's like a 69 ZL1 Corvette. There's a 1970 SS Chevelle, which I used to have as well. So and they have like the new Dodge Vipers and Shelby Cobras and stuff like that. This is highly recommended if you have a PlayStation 2 and especially an Xbox. This is like a must-have. It's tough as nails, really difficult, but a really fun arcade racer that I can't recommend enough. And this is one I've been playing the most so far. The music in it is different types of music. You can select the different types of music from like rap music and different types of alternative rock and what have you. Really cool. This is a Platinum Hits one. But I've been really digging this one a lot and playing this to death lately. Now I had to get the Medal of Honor games. I had these for the PlayStation 2 and I traded them in. Medal of Honor Frontline. I also have this on the PlayStation 3 downloaded off the PSN network. I love this game to death. I had so much fun. This one I think I had played on the original on the PlayStation 2 originally, and I just traded the PS2 version in towards this. But I love this game to death, and I also picked up an excellent brand new copy, or mint condition copies of these also. Again, everything is complete, in perfect condition, not a scratch on the disc. The same thing with Rising Sun. Now this one I haven't played. I did watch some gameplay footage of this recently off a friend's channel, and I really enjoyed this. This is another wonderful game. This takes place in the Pacific Theater. I'm excited about playing this. I've never played this one, so I have played the Medal of Honor Frontline and really enjoyed it. And I have the strategy guide for that as well. I also had this for the Xbox a long time ago, and I bought it back again. Is Medal of Honor European Assault. It's not one of my favorite games. It had these weird little, kind of video game icons above everything floating around when you kill someone. Their weapon, little icons would be floating. I didn't care for the little way the icons kind of hovered over everything. Kind of took you out of the immersion. But it's a good game. It's a solid FPS game. It's a good shooter. It's got some really good little campaign, levels in it. And so I'm just anxious to have this back as part of my trio of the original games that I had one time, Medal of Honor games. This is one of my favorite games. And this I also have for the PlayStation 2, traded in. I also have the strategy guide for this as well. The box is a little beat up, but the game is complete, and the game itself is in excellent condition. And with the original booklet is Destroy All Humans. I love this to death. I've never played the second one, but this one I loved and played it over and over and over. It's got some really funny and fascinating views. Instead of playing, like I just played XCOM Declassified, the Bureau, and it's almost like the flip-flop of that. Now you're the aliens taking out, the guys in black in the FBI and everything. And really fun, wonderful game, wonderful twisted sense of humor. You can read the minds of what the typical Americans and Americana was going through at the time, and what there was going on in their heads. It's so funny. This is a must-play game and a must-get game for the Xbox, which I really enjoyed back in the day. Now these next two games I bought. They're in great shape. I got them really cheap for like $2.99 each. Fireblade, it's some kind of a helicopter game. It's all complete. It looked really good. I know nothing about it. I don't know if any of you have played it. It's by Midway. The graphics look like they're pretty good on it. So it's like kind of a Blue Thunder, military helicopter deal. And it looks good. So I picked it up for $3. I figured I had nothing to lose. Nothing else, I use a case. This is another one called Kill Switch. I have no idea what it is, but it looks interesting. This one I took the case and swapped out my my Manhunt case, which is this black case here, and I just gave the green case to my Manhunt game and used the Manhunt case for this. But take cover, take aim, take over, and it's just I don't know what it is. Offensive cover system, blind fire, sophisticated AI, over 15 action-packed scenarios. So it looks good. It's a good little action game for $3. I had nothing to lose. The last batch I have here, get a drink. It's hot today. God, it's been up in the 80s lately. The weather really heated up. And now these next, a few of these that were expensive. This one I got, Indiana Jones, The Emperor's Tomb. Now I played this on the PlayStation 2, never quite finished it. Really tough. A good puzzle platformer, third-person perspective. One of the best Indiana Jones games there is. Even the voice is not Harrison Ford's, but it sounds a lot like him. It looks like him. A wonderful immersive game, highly recommended. I mean, I haven't put it on the Xbox version yet, but I figured it has to look better than the PS2 version. So I traded my PS2 version in and got this one. I used to have the strategy guide for this one time. I'll have to get it again. This game is tough. Really tough timing sequence where you got to time it just right or you eat it. Highly recommended. Now this game, I think I paid like $26 for it. It was expensive, but I had to have it. It was in absolutely mint condition too. Wonderful little Indiana Jones book that says 1935 journal on it. And kind of an old-fashioned with old-fashioned maps and in full color. Beautiful manual. So I had to have this. It's a very expensive game, but sometimes you got to pay for what you want. Cold Fear, another one. This one I paid, God, like $26, $27 for this too. This is one of my favorite games. One of the last games I bought for my original Xbox when I had my first one. All complete. Same thing with the booklet. I used to have the strategy guide for this years ago when it first came out, and I enjoyed this game. I'm looking forward to getting back into. It's kind of a Resident Evil deal. It takes place like on a Russian trawler. You're a Coast Guard, and it's kind of a mystery. You don't know what's going on, and there's all kinds of horrific things. Kind of like, very much like Resident Evil, but very good. It has a strange over-the-shoulder aiming system. So some people didn't like it at all. I really like it. I think it's an underrated game, and I would highly suggest picking this up if you have an original Xbox. It's a lot of fun. Now this one cost me, got like $26.99. It was expensive, but it's absolutely perfect. I mean, the case and cover is just flawless on it. I was so delighted to find a mint condition copy of one of my favorite games for the Xbox. Now I had this for the PlayStation 2 and traded the game in, and they gave me some decent money for it. But this is a mint copy of 007 from Russia with Love. In my opinion, this is the best of all the James Bond games. Kind of a typical basic third-person cover-based shooter, but just because they use the likeness and the voice of Sean Connery and even Robert Shaw and some of the other villains and the Bond women, it's a wonderful game. The music in this alone is fantastic. It's right out of From Russia with Love, Sean Connery movie. Beautifully done. Wonderful level design. Great vehicle sections with the old Aston Martin DB5. Even great levels with a jetpack. This is one of the funnest. It shows right here. There's a split screen that you can do with friends, and it is one of the funnest split screens I've ever played. Where you're in these jetpacks. You can play like running around on foot too with guns and handguns and what have you. But there are 3 or 4 levels that you can do with a jetpack, going up and down and around with the verticality and hiding in behind things, and you have either machine guns or rocket launchers from your jetpack. And my friend and I would just laugh our ass off and had so much fun playing this. My friend Kyle is watching this. He lives down in Southern California. I'm going to make sure he sees this video. He'll remember the good times. We played 5-6 hours straight of just the jetpack split screen and laughed our ass off. I remember we were stoned out of our minds at nighttime and drinking and just, I mean, we had so much fun playing this. But I highly recommend it anyway. You'll really enjoy From Russia with Love 007. These games are a little dated now to go back and play them, but if you'll find the fun in them, if you look for the fun in them, you'll find it. Now this one was also expensive. I think I paid, God, almost $30 for this. This was like $29.99. It was Sniper Elite. I had a special order of this one. It's an absolutely mint condition case, booklet, everything. I love Sniper Elite V2, and I'm looking forward to the new Sniper Elite 3 that's coming out, which will be on the PlayStation 4. But this one I started to play last summer on the PlayStation 2, and it looked and played. It was really a tough game, even tougher than Sniper Elite V2, I think. And it's just nice to have a mint copy of this. So I'm looking forward to replaying the first level again in this and going all the way through it. This is a rare game. It's kind of hard to find, but it still is one of the finest sniping games ever made, even though it's on the original Xbox. If you like sniping games, you'll love Sniper Elite. Highly recommended. Now this one is cheap. I think I got this for like $6.99. It's the original black. I love this. A mint copy of this. Now what's cool about this one is it even has the original it came with like this really cool restricted area clearance black, like a little credit card, you know, identification thing. It has an identification number on it. Probably, it looks like it has some kind of a code in the back for multiplayer. Yeah, it's an ID card, probably for playing multiplayer or something online. It has this little thing where you can make like a cutout gun, and I don't know what it's for cutting it out for like a little machine gun or whatever. So it was just neat that it came with the original, all the packaging. The perfect brochure, absolutely perfect disc. One of my favorite, a little bit of dust on there, one of my favorite games of all time. I have this also downloaded in my Xbox 360 off Xbox Live Arcade. Highly recommended, as well as this for the Xbox. It looked okay on the PlayStation 2, but it looks even better on the Xbox. I'm looking forward to putting this one in tonight, in fact, and over the weekend I'm playing it. It's black. And you can pick it up fairly reasonably. Now this one was expensive. This one I also paid, I think, like $26, $27 for this. Strike Force, what's it called? Oh, Commando Strike Force. Now I've never played this one, but I watched several reviews, and not so much reviews, they were like compilations, people talking about their Xbox collections, and there were a couple people that had mentioned this game. So I saw some gameplay videos, and there was only like one or two, reviews of it available, but it looks really good. Kind of a first-person shooter, stealth game, military game, which I've never played. So I love stuff like this. I thought I had pretty much played most of these games on the Xbox, but I'd never seen this one. So with the advent of the internet, now I can see all these games that I missed. It's kind of neat. So this was expensive, but I had to have, they ordered this from the Elk Grove store, which is like 25 miles away from me. And I have to wait 3 to 5 days, but I go down and pick it up. That's a beautiful thing. So I don't, if any of you have played this, let me know in the comments what you think of Strike Force, Commando Strike Force. It looks pretty good. This one I think I paid, I don't know, like $13, $14 for. This is one of my favorite games also on the Xbox. Was Midnight Club 3. This is the dub edition remix. So it's like a Platinum Hits edition. What's cool is that they actually have my Hemi truck is in this, my truck, which is one of the reasons why I love this game. So, and what's funny is I had this game, before I bought that truck back in 2008. So when I saw this, I go, oh, that's right, this actually has my Hemi, Dodge truck. I don't know what year this game came out, probably 2000, I can't see it on my glasses, but probably 2006 or 7 or 8 or something, and the truck was pretty much the same. And it's got a lot of great cars in it. This game is tough. It has kind of a challenging rubber band AI in it, as I remember. I prefer the Midnight Club LA that's on the Xbox 360 a little bit better, but still a very fun and challenging game. You really feel like you're in a big city like Los Angeles in this. Highly recommended if you have an Xbox. And I think it's also for the PlayStation 2 as well. Great game. These games I got pretty cheap. I got Brothers in Arms Road to Hill 30. I got it for like $3. I love this game to death. Fantastic. Original, beautiful manual, and this even comes with a map with it. So it's nice at Dimples is that most of the games, not all of them, but most of them will come with all the original stuff that came with them. They usually buy only quality games, and this is no exception, so I'm really happy with this. Brothers in Arms, Road to Hill 30. I had this for my original Xbox before, and I kind of regretted getting rid of it. And then I got the other one, Brothers in Arms, Earned in Blood. This is also a great game. All complete, wonderful shape, for $3. I mean, I couldn't lose. So it was nice to have my old games back that I used to have. In another game, I almost forgot, I had it sitting over here on the edge of the table and missed it, was Thief Deadly Shadows. Now this is one of the ones that I ordered for my Xbox, and it's in perfect condition, all complete. I've been excited about this one. It was highly recommended. I saw some people that had some compilation videos of their collections. This was in their collections, and they really enjoyed it. And then I thought about this because the new Thief game's out for the PlayStation 4 and the Xbox One, which has had kind of mixed reviews, although I have a couple of friends that are really enjoying it. And they said that they even enjoyed this game. They loved playing this. So I had never played this one. This will be kind of something neat and novel to play on the Xbox. So I'm dying to play this. And this was pricey, probably about 20 bucks I think I paid for this one. But well worth it from what I understand. And the final game that I bought that I absolutely had to have, and I got it pretty cheap too, was the wonderful Red Dead Revolver, which I had played on the PlayStation 2. I used to have the rare manual, the guidebook for this. God, I think you can spend like $30 to $50 for the strategy guide. I'd like to have the guide for this. This game is harder than hell. Very different from Red Dead Redemption, but highly recommended. Wonderful graphics. It has even better music than Red Dead Redemption. There's a little bit more of the spaghetti western, Clint Eastwood type music that's in this. And the guy even looks kind of like Clint Eastwood and talks like him in this game. Highly recommended. Wonderful little draw mechanics. We knew these, quick draw deals. And it was one of the first games that had like the bullet timing. You could select all of the things and then quickly shoot them all. Like they kind of had in Red Dead Redemption. Very arcadey, but very, very fun. A very unusual game that I really love. And I'm telling you, the graphics I found, playing this, putting this one in and looking at it versus the PlayStation 2 version, which I also had, it looks a little bit better. So I'm really happy with these Xbox games. The fact that the graphics look so good in them. The fact that you know, as long as the Xbox holds out, and that's why I have a new backup one as well, which I'm going to show you in a minute. I should be able to play these for years to come. Some of these I understand are backward compatible. Like Manhunt, you can play, you know, on the Xbox 360, but there's some weird glitches. You don't hear any of the director's voice at all. So you have to have the subtitles on. I don't like the fact that you can't count on the games to play the way they're supposed to play. So even though you can play them on the Xbox 360, it's just nice having. My advice is just get an original Xbox. They're still cheap. Pick up one. In fact, pick two of them up. I mean, honestly, for you know, for the cost of a couple, you know, used video games, you can probably get a couple really nice Xboxes, and you'll have them for years to come. So, anyway, that's my big game pickup. I kind of went overboard, but I was so excited. Many of them I got for $3 to $5. Some of them were about $13, $14, and there were like 5 or 6 that were getting up there around $20 to $27 in there somewhere. So, I didn't do too bad. And from now, I'm going to show you my other pickups that I got from my game room, which I'm really excited about. So here's Vinny with my original Xbox that I picked up recently. And you can see it's down there on the floor. It's in excellent shape. I was really happy with the condition of it. The wonderful black controller. And then you can see it with my analog 27-inch Sony Trinitron TV, which is going to be nice, especially when I get my Super NES and Panasonic 3DO and other systems. So this is where I set up on the floor right here, and it works pretty good. Oh, I just had a customer a couple weeks ago that I painted they had a family room and some other stuff that I painted in their house, and they had this wonderful TV set. And I said, well, good, I'm looking for an older analog TV. Do you have any plans for this one? He goes, well, we'll probably put it on Craigslist, which is kind of like a local way of selling, you know, used products and TVs and cars and appliances here in the States. And I said, well, what would you like for it? And they were really happy with the job. And they said, Dean, with the quality of work that you've done, if you want it, you can have it. So they gave me, I went from this 27-inch Sony Trinitron to this big 32-inch Toshiba analog TV, top of the line with surround sound built in. Lots of wonderful settings on it, so I've got a much bigger TV now. So I just temporarily put it under here. What I probably will do is take the Sony Trinitron and then move it out to the garage. Once I finish rebuilding my garage and getting it all drywalled and painted, I'm going to have kind of a partial game room out there with neon and beer signs and a fridge and a stereo. And I'll probably move the Sony out there and then put this one in the corner. This is a really nice 32-inch Toshiba TV, again, top of the line. The quality of picture is fantastic. It doesn't have a scratch on it. It's in excellent condition, and even came with the original manual and the remote control, which is in excellent shape. So I'm really happy with that. I scored, I mean, for free. These are hard to find, the big ones. You could find them a few years ago, but not so much anymore. And then I also found, actually 3 days after I bought this one, I found another wonderful Xbox it has a blue controller, and this is in even better shape than the original one. So I thought, you know, for $40 just to have a nice backup, this thing looks like it came right out of a brand new box. I mean, it's absolutely immaculate. Not a scratch on it, and it plays really, really well. So now I've got 2 Xboxes. I've got my analog TVs for my game room. Now I'm going to put one of the Xboxes in a box. I also picked up, I've got a memory card for my Xbox too that goes into the controller right there. And like there's the Super Breakout that Mark Bussler sent me from Classic Game Room. As you can see, he signed it. To Dean, thank you, Mark Bussler, Classic Game Room. But anyway, that's my little memory card I bought, so that way I can transfer the data over from one Xbox to another. And I'm just going to keep one as a backup. I'm going to be looking for another PlayStation 2 as well. I have my one PlayStation 2 here with one of the memory cards in it, and then I'm going to be finding another one as well, either a black or a silver one. There's my little ghetto blaster there for this room. So, you know, this is it, and I've got some original guides too. For the PlayStation 2 and Xbox games, I got Freedom Fighters, which I've had this one for a while. This is a wonderful game, which I just got for the Xbox. Medal of Honor Frontline, another wonderful game I can't wait to replay again. Twisted Metal Black, which I have for my PS2. Return to Castle Wolfenstein, Operation Resurrection, which was actually the PlayStation 2 version, although I have used this as well for my PC, and now I have the Tides of War one as well for the Xbox. Destroy All Humans, one of my favorite games for the regular Xbox. I love this to death. I'm really happy with this. And then I also have Manhunt. It's my original manual going back, God, when the game was brand new. And I also have Manhunt 2. So I'm getting a head start on my older, guidebooks, strategy guides, which is nice. So it's going to be wonderful to be able to play a lot of these PS2 games and original Xbox games all over again. Now that I'm getting my game room all in order. So the only thing that's left now is I need to get a black... this is my little table set up here. Here's, some of my games, like PlayStation 2 games and PS1 games and some Xbox 360. There's all of my strategy guides. And then this wall over here, I have a little small setup that I had underneath my little art table. This is a temporary place for this right now, but I'm eventually going to put this. I'm going to have a black wall unit right against this wall between the door and my closet here, and that's where I'm going to put all my other games and some of my systems. I'm going to have a huge black bookshelf, which I'm looking for right now for this one wall. That's it pretty much for the game room. I'll have it pretty much dialed in. So I'm really happy that I'm making good progress on everything. It's all going in the right direction, and it's going to be nice. By this summer, I want to get the rest of my consoles and have the bulk of the games that I'm looking forward to playing. But anyway, I was really delighted to find not one but two Xbox. After waiting between 4 and 6 months, I've been looking for these, and I just almost gave up. I knew I could find one on eBay, but these ones, they test them, they're guaranteed for a month, and I've already played both of them extensively, and they work great. They sound awesome, so, I'm hoping that they're going to last quite a while, but for $40 each, I mean, honestly, for the condition that these are in, you'd be hard-pressed to find one on eBay, and especially that big analog TV, which is going to be really wonderful. I can't wait to... I've already been playing some games on this new TV, and it looks fantastic. I'm really pleased with the quality. I thought the Sony was nice, but this 32-inch Toshiba is even better. So anyway, that's some of my latest finds for the game room. So that's it for my pickups video. I hope you liked it. Something I've been wanting to do all week. I'm just kind of waiting for those last few games to come in. I was really excited about my TV deal on the Xbox and the backup one and everything. It's so nice to have everything in order and finally get this room organized away when all I really have left is just that black bookshelf deal to kind of put all my games in and a few of my consoles, especially my Super NES, which I want to get my Panasonic 3DO. And the game room's pretty much complete. Then it's a matter of each year I'll get a few games as I come across them or discover some of my friends from their pickup videos and say, oh, that looks really good, I'll have to get that. So thank you so much, guys, for watching. And for you that have shared your pickup videos, and they've been so inspirational for me, I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for sharing your game collections, your game rooms, all your pickup videos, whether they're out in the wild and you're out in the stores or swap meets, or car boot sales, or garage sales, as we call them here in the States. It's so fun to see everyone's impressions of the games they like and what they're looking forward to picking up, why they're excited to get these old Sega Genesis games or old Xbox games or what have you. It's really cool. So anyway, guys, thanks very much for watching. I'll try to do more videos as I have time. I've got a lot of work scheduled right now, but I'll try to squeak out at least one or maybe even two a week if I can. So I hope you enjoyed this. Enjoy your week, enjoy your weekend, and make the most of your gaming, because that's really, it's what we have is a wonderful world of immersion and video games we can enjoy, whether it's for fun or whether it's just for escapism. So thanks for watching.